Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Welcome back everybody, and those that are new to checking out these videos, welcome. So let's dive in, but before I do dive into these issues, if you do hear some noise in the background, it's because I have the air on because it is hot. So please bear with me there. I do have my noise gates on and things, but you can still do so much without cutting off all your audio. Now this first one I want to talk about, boy, this one really surprises me a lot of the score, and that's Birds of Prey issue number 12. And the reason I'm surprised, it says on League of Comics Geeks here, 110 out of 115 liked it with a 4.1 average rating. How this book gets this high of a score is beyond me. But I mean, I gave it a 7. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trashing it, but I didn't think it deserved near that high of a score. Kelly Thompson's the writer, artist is Xavier Pina, and I will say it does have some interesting covers. Well, the chibi kind of cutesy style, which makes sense for this story, so that's all right. Anyway, it says there's extra-dimensional catastrophes have never been cuter or more deadly. Their attempt to control the portal dimension has backfired in a hilarious but yet violent way, and the Birds of Prey find themselves dealing with some unexpectedly cute results. Meanwhile, Oracle's escape plan nears completion despite some over-enthusiastic assistance. Cassandra Cain has a big idea. Yes, she could have ideas. I thought the story was okay. The art was okay, especially if you like that cutesy stuff, and that makes sense. It's not all the way like that throughout the whole issue, but it makes sense why it's there. But overall, really, this issue, there's nothing special about it. It was just okay. How it gets this many readers, is maintaining this many readers, is beyond me. Maybe this book just isn't for me because it keeps becoming mid-tier, and I keep expecting more. Maybe that's why more people are reading it than expected to. They're expecting to go back to like how good Birds of Prey used to be. I don't know. I would really like to have your thoughts still. What do you think of this series? Have you been reading it and you hear anything noises? That's my notes too. My old school paper notes. By the way, speaking of notes and things, in the comments, let me know your thoughts and things about this video, these comic books in the comments. The last few videos, the comments have been wonderfully great. A lot of people have been pumping in comments. Of course, some people, there's always a few people have got to be a little bit jerkish, but that's okay too. All right, let's have these good discussions in the comments below and share our thoughts like we're in the old comic shop. The next issue that I read that I want to talk about is Absolute Power number 2, and it wasn't absolute trash. 374 out of 405 liked it with a 4.1 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, meaning a lot of people are probably picking up this Absolute Power series. I gave the book a 7.8, so actually I'm not too far from them on this one as well. Anyway, the writer is Mark Waid, and I know, hey, I get it. Because a few weeks ago, I said I wasn't going to review Mark Waid book, and I wouldn't at that time, because at that time, I didn't think I could review that book without keeping my bias out of it. Now I've got a couple weeks away from the event of Mark Waid's additional stupidity. I think I can review this one and be fair. The artist is Dan Mora on that. It's got some cool cover art there. Seeing Superman hurt like that in the suit to help him heal, but not being too successful as he's looking like he's getting beat down is pretty cool. The blockbuster event here led by the superstars Mark Waid, it says in Dan Mora, which I, once again, just for the record, think Mark Waid is a dick. And if you choose not to read this book because he's writing it, that's your choice, and I support your choice. You do you do what you want.
Anyway, they're in the Fortress of Solitude, and Amanda Waller still finds them as they're trying to jockey for control. Who's going to be the leader of this team? What needs to be done? We see none other than Nightwing really stepping up, but that's just not enough because a whole bunch of people bust in to the Superman's home there, if you will, the Fortress of Solitude, and begin to just beat them down and take them. Absolute Power continues to be pretty good story, I think, with some good action. Once again, I don't care for Mark Waid, but I have to admit this is a solid story, and I am interested to see what happens next. So once again, I gave this book a 7.8. The next book I want to review is Batman 151. I'm glad we were all past that Zur stuff and all that. I think it's about time. 203 out of 236 liked it with a 3.6 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, where I gave it a higher score actually than I expected, a 7.4. Writer Chip Zdarsky, penciler Mike Hawthorne. And I think it's a nice different direction, even though this is an Absolute Power tie-in. It's Batman and Catwoman versus, yes, the Suicide Squad, a device critical to Amanda Waller's plan. They think it's, the box there, the Doomsday boxes for the boom tubes and all that, is hidden on a remote island. Highly protected remote island, I might add there. Batman can get there, but only one burglar has a chance of stealing the device and getting it off the island safely. But that device isn't what they expect. They get off the island, and to get off the island turns out to be, well, let's be honest, the least of their problems. Plus, there's a backup story in here, which, I could care less about on that one, so I'm not really judging it based on that one. I thought this was mediocre art in this issue, though it could have been better, but it's nice seeing Batman and Catwoman working together again. Good story and a good action. Makes sense that I gave it a 7.4. I thought it was all right. What do you think? Are you reading Batman? Are you glad they're past that last story arc? I'd love to know.
Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you everybody. And let's get back to the video.
Well, holy Shazam! That's what I went to next. Shazam number 14, where 54 out of 57 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, where I gave the book a 7. Yep, just a 7. Writers Josie Campbell, sorry, whatever that is. And then artist is Manuela Lupacchino. And the problem is this book is, it's been just, I don't know. When I think of artwork for Shazam, the Captain now, I see him as a big, powerful guy, and I don't know, I just don't think this artist captures that. But oh well, it is what it is. But the writer does capture a lot of the nice camaraderie with the family, if you will. Can Freddy and Mary turn the tide against the monsters? Mary and Freddy have tracked Billy down to the unused tunnels, yeah. But the monster plagues Billy has followed them as well. With Billy refusing to turn into the Captain, can Mary and Freddy turn the tide and figure out what is causing this monster onslaught? And can they convince Billy to come home? Yeah, and there's more going on besides that. So anyway, this book has decent art, but it's a silly story. But if you're into these silly stories that are less serious in tone, this book is probably for you. And I don't mind that. It's nice to have a silly book once in a while. Reminds me of older Captain Marvel. Oops, Shazam. But it is a little slow on the story progression, henceforth why it just gets a score of 7. The next book I didn't originally plan to get and read, but I thought, why don't I give it a shot just for the sake of it, to maybe be surprised. It was Gotham City Sirens #1, where 113 out of 158 liked it with a 3.3 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave the book a 7. The writer is Leah Williams, artist is Matteo Lilloli, and once again, I butcher names, no meanness intended there. Anyway, you can't keep a bad girl down. Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn reunite for a weekly adventure. This is if I'm not mistaken, just a 4-issue miniseries. So, and honestly, I don't think that this story was good enough to make me want to continue reading it. I think if you got a miniseries or any series, you need to start strong with a really strong story. I just don't think this has it. This book has mediocre art, decent characterization, but the story is pretty lame. It's just not strong enough to start, in my opinion, to make people want to get issue number 2. I'd like to know your thoughts if you picked up this book and read it. Is this one that you got, wow, this was great and worth my time? Should I get the next one? Or did you go, I expected better? Because that's where I fell, and I just wasn't there for me. I don't think I'll be getting issue 2. The next book I want to talk about is a spin-off from The Blood Hunt, and that's Blood Hunters, where they start a crew hunting vampires. Yes, 55 out of 67 liked it with a 3.6 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it a 7.2. The writer is Erica Schultz, and the artist is Robert Gill. Yep, so anyway, we have the spin-off. We have Dagger, Elsa Bloodstone, White Widow, and Hallows Eve. Marvel's newest team takes on the streets to clean up the aftermath of the Blood Hunt, namely hunting down the remaining vampires who threaten to spill innocent blood, including deadly super vamps from the Blood Coven. But when they find out, just like the rest of everybody else that reads Marvel comic books, that Miles Morales sucks. Yes, you heard me. Miles Morales sucks. He's a vampire, people. Don't go getting all pissy. Boy, that last video I did review where I said Peter Parker Spider-Man, Marvel actually admits it, and people got pissy about that. Oh man, and just for the record, I don't hate Miles Morales. I thought Miles Morales was a great character in the Ultimate Universe. It made sense. He was a legacy character, but when he was moved into the 616, he really lost anything that made him special. Right now he's a vampire, so I can really say he sucks. So deal with it. I'm sure a few people will still get mad about that, but hey, Miles Morales sucks in the 616, definitely now for a fact. And it's just like good art, decent story. Marvel should let Bloodstone kill Miles in this book. At the end, she's trying to kill him off. I think they should, because there's too many Spider-Man type of characters running around the Marvel universe right now. The more we flood with all these multiverses, 10 zillion types of character, the more we dilute the character, it's the original character and what makes them special. I think this is for sloppy, poor writing. Let's be honest, it's because they can't come up with any ideas. And on top of that, I think it's just disgraceful, because here's the thing, and if anybody that loves to pull the race card and stuff like that, if Marvel and DC really cared about diversity, they would create a new character and they would invest in that character and building that character and making us enjoy that character. They're being lazy by giving them the same name as another character because marketing wise, it's easier and it's a lesser risk because they already get the name recognition. That's not real diversity there, people. They're using you. They're in trying to act like they care. If they really cared truly, they would. They'd make great characters like Luke Cage and Storm, things like that. That are awesome characters. Okay? Because they took time and invested in them. Step it up. You can do better. This is an interesting team, and it could be good, so I am going to check out issue number 2 as well. I just mentioned Storm a moment ago, so let's mention it again. The Avengers number 7. 197 out of 211 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it a 7.3. We have none other than the Falcon. Captain America. Sam Wilson, which Falcon's cool, by the way. I like Falcon. I just don't think he should be Captain America. He can keep the same outfit, keep the shield, just still call him Falcon. But anyway, he goes to Storm. He's trying to recruit Storm. Storm and the Avengers would be cool, right? It says here, Storm joins the Avengers, but actually she hasn't officially joined the Avengers yet. Sam gets some good information from him, the back and forth, a nice conversation. I liked that part of it. Writer Jed McKay, I think, did a good job there, and Ryan North writing as well. The artist Xavier Guerin did okay as well. Good art. I think it would really be cool to see Storm join this team, because he thinks the team needs some X-Men influence in on them, some representation, and I think that's a good idea, because the Avengers are supposed to protect everyone, and to have some X-Men, which they felt they failed, makes sense. I think it's good. Good story, good setup issue. I'm looking forward to the next issue of Avengers. This was a good hit. Good job, Marvel. Now, the next issue, I don't think that you have to have good sight to know this is good. And that's Daredevil issue number 12. 113 out of 125 liked it with a 3.9 average rating, and I gave it a 7.8 on this one. Writer is Salman Ahmad, artist Aaron Cooter. Yep, Aaron Cooter. Which, sorry, I'm not making fun of the dude, just making fun of myself and how I pronounce names. Bullseye, after the pulse-pounding frenzy that started in Daredevil issue number 8. Matt Murdock and Elektra Nachos. Yes, it's funny they call her Elektra here, but yet she's actually Daredevil now too. Once again, the same problem, because she's a cool character as Elektra. Marvel, leave her as Elektra, for crying out loud. Well, anyway, they were surrounded by deadly foes. Now, in this issue, they're taking on the possessed Kingpin, and what's going to happen there? Well, you'll have to see. And a possessed Kingpin is one powerful dude. I like the cover of this issue, by the way. I think this is one that would make me want to pick it up off the shelf if I was at the comic shop there, and I go for the first time and looking for something to read. I think this is a captivating cover. Good art, solid characterization in this issue. Interesting story, and I am looking forward to the next issue. I don't think you have to be blind. Sorry. I don't think you have to have sight to know that this and see that this is good. Now, another one that continues to be good, but it's only 3 issues in, is Scarlet, issue number 3. 137 out of 138 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. Higher than I gave it, but I still gave it a respectable, solid 7.8. Yeah, writer is Kelly Thompson, artist is Marco Ferreri. Anyway, Scarlet has fought her way into her final test, if you will, a death-defying mission that could change the clan's fortunes. But where do Lynx's loyalties truly lie here? Well, we think we all know where that's going to be. A lot of fighting, though, in this issue. A lot of action. Decent art, good characterization. This has really been a great series focused on our classic character, Scarlet. If you are a G.I. Joe fan, get this. Even, you know what, if you are not a G.I. Joe fan, this is off of the normal G.I. Joe path well enough that you might want to check it out anyway. If you're just into cool, tough chicks that fight, can swing a sword, Scarlet's awesome. And I think this is a must-read for the G.I. Joe fans as well. If you're not getting this one, I think you probably should give it a shot. And for the final issue that I read this week was The Incredible Hulk number 15. 95 out of 101 liked it with a 4 average rating, which is a lot higher than I gave this one. I gave this one a 6.9. Yeah. The writer is Philip Kennedy Johnson. The artist is Danny Earls. And the origin of evil here we have. As the eldest plans to draw Hulk ever nearer to Las Vegas, she remembers a time thousands of years ago. The terrible empire she ruled then, until a fateful encounter with the first Hulk. Yeah, let's once again make the Hulk less special by having other Hulks. And this dude brought it all to ruin, making enemies, of course, of them forever. So that probably sets up why she's so against Hulk now anyway. And it says, don't miss the origin of Eldest. This is a 2-part story within the series. I just don't think it's that great. The pacing of this issue was way too slow, especially for a Hulk book. I'm sorry, you need some Hulk smash. Where's the Hulk smash in these books? The art was mediocre, and the reason I gave it such a low score, I personally found this issue to be boring. I'm sorry, I thought it was boring. Looking at League of Comics Geeks, a lot of people didn't agree with me here, so I'm probably maybe out of the norm on this one. So maybe read some of their thoughts and things on this issue, but I just couldn't get into this one. Well, there you have it. That's what I read. What did you read? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. It's one of the best ways you can help this channel is by doing that. I will say the last few comic book review videos have been doing very well. The community has really been stepping it up and sharing their thoughts, and I really appreciate that. And speaking of things I appreciate these people here that contribute to the channel and help. Without them, I truly mean that, this channel wouldn't be possible. Okay, thank you so very much for your effort, your time, and your commitment to this channel. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. This truly is because of you. So thank you everybody for your time, and until next time, keep it frugal.